Hello. In this video, we will start creating the this year plan metrics in our new sales budget application. In the last video, we created the last year actual metrics. Before creating the this year plan metrics, let's create a this year plan perspective, similar to the last year actual perspective. Let's open our perspectives and create a new one named this year plan. Then, using the Create Values wizard, let's create our new values. Instead of Create For, we select Copy from Perspective and choose to copy the measures from last year actual to this year plan. As you can see, our metrics have been automatically created, and the formulas have been automatically updated for the this year plan metrics. However, we will need to make some changes here. But first, let's create our pool that will link the plan metrics. I go to the Pools section and click Load to see our existing pools. I click on the New Pool wizard to create a new pool. I name the pool This Year Plan. The connection I'll use is again Blue Earth. Our schema is Product Plan, and our table will be Sales Plan. I click Load Data. Yes, let's take a look at our data. Our table includes metrics like Plan Status ID, Sales Channel ID, Brand ID, Category ID, Main Group ID, Product Group ID, Sales Season ID, Sales Unit, Sales Cost, Sales Revenue, Sales Initial Revenue, Initial Markup, and others. Since I know the table, I can tell that our table actually contains these 4 fields as data. The remaining fields are calculated fields. Now, by clicking AutoSet Key Fields, I ensure that our pool is automatically linked with the application's fields. Yes, link to fields have been established for Plan Status, Sales Channel, Brand, and vice versa. And by clicking AutoSet Filters, we connected our pool with the Workspace filters via Brand, Sales Channel, and Sales Season. I leave Pool's scope as Application. This time, we set the pool type to Read/Write. Because we will be both reading data and writing changes to the sales plan table through this pool, the refresh time will remain on load. Okay, our this year plan pool has now been created. I go back to the Values section. Click Load. And set the pool to this year plan for the this year plan metrics. Now let's set up which values in our application will be editable and which will be saveable. As I mentioned when creating the pool, these 4 values are stored as data in the table. Therefore, even if these 4 values are not editable, we will mark them as saveable. This way, when there is a change in these 4 values, the data will automatically be saved to the database. Now, remember that in our application, the sales quantity was an editable value. So, I mark this as editable. Let's recall which other values were editable. The average unit initial price was editable. So we'll mark this as editable too. Since I marked this value as editable, the formulas we copied from last year will need to be changed. Because I need to be able to pull this value from the database now. In my table, there was a calculated field. I indicate that I will use the average unit initial price. And delete the predefined formula. This way, we fetched the average unit initial price from the database and made it editable. Of course, we need to write a formula for the values affected by this. This value is sales initial revenue. Therefore, when I change the average unit initial price, I'll write the necessary formula to ensure sales initial revenue changes. Yes, what will the formula for sales initial revenue be? It should be this year planned sales unit multiplied by this year plan average unit initial price. And I leave its DB field name field full. Because I also want the calculated value to be written to the sales initial revenue field in the table since it is savable. Another value was average sales cost. Of course, I need to mark this as editable as well. I've marked it. Now let's move on to the editable value, average unit cost. Again, I indicate that I will fetch this from the database from the calculated field average unit cost. And delete its formula. I also set the editable value to true. So, who will be affected when data is entered into the average unit cost value? The sales cost value. So, I will write the formula for the sales cost value. This year plan sales unit, multiplied by, this year plan average sales cost. And finally, our Markdown value was editable. So, I link it to the Markdown field, which is a calculated field in the database. And delete its formula. Finally, I set the editable value to true. So, who will be affected by the Markdown value? Sales revenue will be affected. How will it be affected? Let's write the formula. Sales revenue equals sales initial revenue multiplied by 1. Markdown percentage. Yes, we've written it correctly. So, we've adjusted our formulas for the this year plan according to the values that will be editable and savable. Now, let's make the necessary settings for our application to open with the new values. We go to the Quick Apps section and open the views. Let's load the layers for the new sales budget. As you can see, we previously had a layer for last year actual. Now, our this year plan values have arrived. Instead of putting the this year plan metrics in this layer, I want to add a new layer. I name it this year plan and associate the this year plan values with the new layer I've created. Then I go to View Layer Layouts. In our default view, the last year actual layer was visible. Now I just need to say that this year plan is also visible for this view. Now we can open our application. Yes, our application has opened successfully. Let's reload our data for 22SS. Great, as you can see, we now have this year planned data alongside last year actual. Now, let's do a quick test. For example, let's say we will have 500 sales for accessories headwear cap in January 2022. And then let's say our average unit initial price will be 1,000. Let's see. Yes, sales initial revenue has been automatically calculated. Let's say our unit cost will be 250. The sales cost has also been calculated. Currently, our revenue is the same as sales initial revenue. Let's say our markdown percentage will be 30%. Yes, while sales initial revenue is 500,000, our sales revenue is set at 350,000. So, we've planned for 1 month. Let's save it. Yes, our data has been saved. Great, we have now completed our basic sales budget application as shown in the first video of this series. I hope you have created this fantastic work along with me. For any questions or support, you can reach us at info@quickapp.com.tr. Stay safe.